Can we please start the housekeeping comments?
That would be great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for participating in today's meeting. If attending in person, please do not connect to Zoom or teleconference while in the room, and please silence all devices. If translation is provided, click on the globe at the bottom of your screen to select either English or Spanish. Public comment will be taken after each item. If you're in the auditorium and wish to comment, please use the iPads located in the lobby or complete a blue speaker card as available. If you need assistance, please find a South Coast AQMD employee. Speakers may be limited to a total of 3 minutes or less for all agenda items. Times may be shortened to ensure all speakers can be heard. A countdown timer will be displayed on the screen for each public comment. More time will be allotted for Spanish translation that is not simultaneous. For questions or issues on making a public comment, please call the public advisor at 909-396-2432. That's 909-396-2432. Please adhere to the speaker time limit and treat others with courtesy, civility, and respect. Failure to do so can result in your mic being muted or you being removed from the meeting. Be aware that this meeting is being recorded. By participating, you authorize recording of audio and visual content presented during the live event and consent to subsequent use of the recording in the public domain by South Coast AQMD.
Thank you and good morning. Welcome to the Technology Committee meeting here on May 16th and our special time of 10:30 a.m. And we'll go ahead and kick off the meeting with a roll call, please.
Supervisor Hagman, Mayor Locke Dawson, absent. Mayor Pro Tem McCallan.
Here.
Board Member Padilla Campos.
Here.
Supervisor Nguyen. And Chair Rodriguez.
Here.
I think the supervisor might be in the attendees, Supervisor Nguyen, if she can be moved over.
Let's go ahead and hold a moment so we can see if we can get the supervisor to join us.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hello, Supervisor. Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have a quorum.
Okay, fantastic. Let's move on to action item 1, issue RFP for battery electric switcher locomotives for CPRG Invest Clean program. And we have a staff report from Alyssa Yan.
Hi, everybody. My name is Alyssa Yan. I am the working out of class manager for off-road incentives, inspections, and special projects. Today, I will be going over, wait for the slide to start, but agenda item number 1, to issue the RFP for battery electric switcher locomotives for the CPRG Invest Clean program. So in 2024, the US EPA released a competitive grant under the Inflation Reduction Act. In October 2024, the South Coast AQMD was awarded $500 million in funding for the Invest Clean initiative. In partnership with 2 MSAs noted in the slides, the program would focus on modernizing infrastructure, vehicles, and equipment, primarily in the goods movement corridor. Next slide, please. Under the Invest Clean program, there are 4 primary components. At its base, the program focuses on 4 incentive measures, which we'll cover in the next slide, as well as a workforce training program in partnership with NECA and IBEW. With the implementation of this program, our hope is to also see community benefits widespread, especially near residential areas, schools, and public facilities. In addition, the program ensures that emissions from this program are real surplus and quantifiable. Next slide. So of the 4 goods movement incentive measures, battery electric switcher locomotives, which is measure 4, is the largest portion of the grant, equating to $190.8 million. Next slide, please. So according to CARB's off-road emissions inventory, there are currently over 340 diesel switcher locomotives in South Coast AQMD's jurisdiction. Locomotive replacement projects offer the greatest GHG and criteria pollutant emission reduction benefits. Battery electric switchers considered really the most scalable in terms of incentivizing due to its shorter travel distance and its ability to travel between rail yards. Funding for battery electric switcher locomotives would provide the necessary performance data that is required to determine scalability with the potential to expand to other locomotive categories such as line haul locomotives and helper locomotives. Currently, there are 4 and 6 axle models available for battery electric switchers. Next slide. The measure focuses on providing a $190 million investment in the deployment of battery electric switchers. That also helps create job creation both nationwide and California statewide. 18 or more locomotives will be funded with the supporting infrastructure and require scrappage. And we recognize the decrease in NOx PM equivalent CO2 in priority areas. Next slide, please. Our request for proposal provides an opportunity for funding with a manufacturer partnering with a rail operator, as well as extends to owners and/or collaborating operators. The program measure ensures an existing diesel locomotive is scrapped in addition to implementing new battery electric switcher. There's also added flexibility to operate the diesel locomotive until both the battery locomotive and supporting infrastructure are complete. The proposal also requires usage reporting from the wards for over a 5-year period or until programmatic goals are achieved. Next slide, please. This is the request for proposal timeline with the deadline for submission set to September 30th, 2025. We will reissue the RFP if needed. Next slide. The recommended action today is to issue and, if necessary, reissue a request for proposal to solicit battery electric switcher locomotive projects for Invest Clean Measure 4. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that report. I'll start with any questions or comments from committee members. I see Supervisor Nguyen.
Thank you. I just want to ask staff, are we just targeting in that, the one you just mentioned, just rails? Because, Orange County, we don't have a lot of rails. So would then that exclude Orange County being able to put any proposal bids in? Can you hear me?
Yes, Supervisor, proposal targets the rail manufacturers.
Okay.
So it's, unless you're a rail manufacturer or you partner with the rail manufacturer, I don't think there would be any real chance of winning or submitting a bid on that. But these are the terms that were submitted. These is what has been accepted by EPA, and we are not changing any of the conditions because that would cause a lot of problems in terms of the integrity of the bid and even the award itself.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Supervisor. Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, this is Supervisor Hackman. Just a quick question. Technology agnostic. Like, I see electric, but why not, like we have the Redlands Passion Rail that is hydrogen fuel cell electric. Would that qualify? Do we need to put anything else in there?
Yeah, good question. When we applied for this grant from the federal government, we did not put the hydrogen technologies in here because the state received one of the largest awards under the DOE Hydrogen Hub. So we didn't want to compete with their projects. So these projects under the Climate Pollution Reduction Act grant are just battery electric technologies.
So there's no way to add that, even if it's okay.
Thank you, Supervisor. Great question. Any other comments or questions?
Wait, this is Padilla Campos.
Please go ahead.
Can you tell me what the technology is? Is it that cart that we saw in your presentation? Is it a battery sort of thing? I don't know much about this. So.
It's actually a category of locomotive that basically operates between locomotive rail yards or within the locomotive rail yards, moving the line haul, like larger locomotives from one line to another.
So it's sort of like a pulley Like it will move a train from one track to the next?
That's correct. And then
Uh,
third one.
So it's a locomotive. So when you see the locomotives moving the rail cars,
Mhm.
that's exactly what we're going to be putting towards. It's just operated by battery electric instead of diesel fuel.
So these things are usually moving around a lot, moving trains a lot on all day, sort of. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I
and just to
appreciate that.
clarify, these switchers do not go basically out of our basin. They're not the ones, with 150 rail cars on them. They're moving locally here in rail yards and
Mhm.
smaller operations.
Right, they don't travel with the trains, but they're within the facility moving
Right.
the trains
that's
from one
correct.
track to the next. Thank you, that's really helpful.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay,
I'll move approval.
let's go ahead and go to public comment. Do we have anyone online?
We have one caller online, starting with phone number 310.
Okay, let's take that comment, please. Is that Harvey Etter that we have first?
Yes, good morning. Am I being heard?
Yes, we can hear you, Harvey. Please go ahead.
Well, a couple of things. This is an opportunity to look in the future for rail as part of transportation, and that's important. And the issues of control. Who's the public power of this? I'm with the Public Solar Power Coalition. We've been around 40, 50 years. So transportation is heavy use for energy and climate and stuff, and equity. And how this is owned and controlled with decision making is important, and to try to get hydrogen into it as soon as possible. So I think that should be looked at and investigated, and also as part of the CEQA, etc. Now there was an issue of recently there were two proposals out of Sichuan in China about technology. I'm concerned about the ownership and control of that technology. They were done with our ports, and there was not review from us and other folks, and we want to call that all back in, and it's going like a freight train to hell. So ownership and control of that, and what's going to happen, shakedown with Chinese, and how it's going to affect the terrorists, and recycling the solar tax credits for low-income people for the tariffs, because it's a regressive tax. We talked in Washington Journal this morning about that. Okay, so this is important stuff. Let's get a perspective. And see how it fits in with the trucks and worker co-ops and stuff like that from the places, the warehouses, and shake down the warehouses for ownership and control as well. All right, thank you for now. Bye.
Thank you. Any other comments?
No other public comments.
Thank you. Seeing none, we'll close public comment. I had a motion on the item. Do we have a second?
Hagman seconds.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and call for the vote, please.
Supervisor Hagman, Mayor Locke Dawson, absent. Mayor Pro Tem McCallum,
Yes.
Board Member Padilla Campos,
Yes.
Supervisor Nguyen,
Yes.
and Chair Rodriguez.
Yes.
Okay, item passes 5 ayes.
Okay, thank you, colleagues. We'll move on to action item 2, adopt resolution and accept terms and conditions, recognize revenue, execute agreements to deploy battery electric trucks and chargers, and demonstrate a fast charging capable truck, transfer funds, and reimburse general fund.
Mr. Chair, I have a disclosure on this item.
Okay, please go ahead.
For agenda item number 2, I don't have a financial interest, but I am required to identify for the record that I'm a member of the Mobile Source Air Pollution Reduction Committee, which is involved in this item.
And Hagman has ditto.
Thank you both for your work on that committee. Any other disclosures? Okay, great. We'll go into the staff report.
Good morning. My name is Fan Xu, Program Supervisor in the Technology Demonstration Group. I'm here to present item number 2, This is to implement a large-scale deployment of battery electric Class A trucks and chargers, and to demonstrate a fast charging capable battery electric truck. Next slide, please. A brief background for this item. In late 2023, South Coast submitted 5 proposals for CARB's and CEC's joint grant solicitation under the Advanced Technology Demonstration and Pilot Project Program. 2 of our proposals received relatively high scores and have been awarded. One is a Balboa Island Ferry Electrification Project. That award was approved by our governing board last year. And the other project is SPEED, which stands for Strategic Pathway for Extended Electric Dredge. We received the preliminary award for SPEED project recently, and the award amount is $41.3 million, with $22 million from CARB and $19.3 million from CEC. The entire SPEED project has a budget of $88 million, and the rest of the funding will be covered by South Coast AQMD, MSRC, and the private entities, which will be shown on a later slide. Next slide, please. The SPEED proposal was a collaborative effort with partnership from Volvo, several fleets, and local colleges. The team put together a comprehensive project that aligns with the goals of the grants to accelerate commercial and pre-commercial zero technologies and to reduce local air emissions. The project is aimed to further expand the deployment of battery electric Class A trucks in South Coast AQMD and beyond. The trucks to be deployed are Volvo's VIN-RE Class 8 model. They have a range up to 275 miles on a single charge and are equipped with advanced safety technologies such as radar and camera for collision avoidance. 100 Volvo trucks will be deployed, anticipated to be deployed, along with 79 behind-the-fence chargers with 10 participating fleets. One of the innovative elements of the SPEED project is Volvo's plan to develop a truck that can support fast charging, enabling charging speed 3 times higher than the current model. Volvo plans to test the truck on a 500-mile cross-regional freight route. The goal is to complete this route within a single day. And megawatt chargers will be used to charge this demo truck. The SPEED project also helped to expand the public truck charging network in the region. One of the project partners, Watt EV, plans to develop a public charging site near Mexico border to install 15 truck charging ports, which are compatible with current battery electric trucks, and 3 megawatt chargers to support future fast charging needs. Next slide. Continue on the scope of the SPEED project. To ensure successful deployment of SPEED, SPEED also plans to offer enhanced workforce training for drivers, technicians, and operators. Cerrito College and the former Rio Hondo College instructors will take the lead on this effort with support from the OEM. The training courses and the materials will be evaluated and upgraded accordingly to address current workforce needs and prepare for the workers for the future emerging technologies. SPEED also plans to offer special training to first responders to deal with thermal incidents and fire hazards related to battery electric truck and high energy equipment at truck charging sites. In parallel with the development of fast charging capable truck, educational events will be organized by Charin which is a global association on standardizing the technology related to transportation electrification. Those events are to raise awareness about the megawatts chargers technology and the standards, which is being currently developed. Another unique feature of SPEED is the battery recycling. Volvo plans to demonstrate their battery circulation program, showcasing the full recycling process that is being developed with their partners. This recycling process includes steps starting from transporting the used battery to recovering the materials from the used battery. We are hoping to come back to the committee to present the results in the future. SPEED also will collect operational data from the deployed trucks and the charging infrastructure to evaluate the performance and impact of the deployment. UCR will take the lead for the data collection. Next slide. Here is a breakdown of the fundings from the public and the private entities. Besides the funding from carbon CEC, MSRC will contribute $2 million. This funding was just approved by the MSRC committee yesterday. Staff also requesting $3.25 million from South Coast Clean Fuels Fund. Volvo and other private entities will provide the remaining cost share as listed on the slide. CARB and MSRC's funding will be solely used for the deployment of the 100 commercial battery electric trucks. South Coast AQMD's funding will be used for the development and demonstration of the fast charging capable truck, workforce training, battery recycling, data collection, along with the CEC funding. Next slide. So recommended actions, including adopting the resolutions required by the grant for both SPEED and the Balboa Island Ferry project. And also the action also include recognizing the grant for SPEED into our fund, transfer $3.5 million as a cash share, and transfer $2 million as temporary loan. This loan is prepared so the payment to the project participants can be made in a timely manner when the reimbursement with carbon CEC takes time. And this is also to authorize the executive officer to execute agreements with our project partners and authorize the executive officer to make necessary modifications to the grants with carbon CEC when needed. And lastly, reimburse the general fund for our administration cost. That concludes my presentation. I'll be happy to take any questions.
Thank you for the great report. Open up to any questions, colleagues.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I brought this up at MSRC yesterday, and I love the concept. We need to work forward. This is a great collaboration through multiple entities. What I didn't like was the fact that we already picked our technology. So as this process goes, it was explained to me it started 2023 or something like that. By the time we execute this, it'll be 26 or 27. We're dealing with cutting edge technology. That should be agnostic until we get to the stage of deployment, because as we've seen, electric truck manufacturers have rised and bankrupt. We have new ones coming in. We have a brand new one that came into San Bernardino, new charging systems. Everything's very fluid right now. So I don't know how we locked into a particular brand of vehicle, a brand of charging, and those type of things so early on in this process, where we could have, I think, if they have future ones, it'd be nice to be technology agnostic until we get the funds together, until we get the plan, and then we go out and go RFP, RFQ, and see who could be best fit our needs. That's just my commentary.
Thank you, Supervisor. Appreciate your comments. I'll ask staff to respond to any general points.
Yeah, Supervisor. For this particular grant, I think I mentioned this yesterday in MSRC also, CARB and the Energy Commission wanted to come in with project ready, get this going as soon as you can, despite this being a year and a half after we applied for that. So we came together with the project partners. And to note, these technologies are still new. What we're doing here with the megawatt charging truck being developed, that hasn't been done before. We still need a lot more of these Class 8 zero emission trucks out there, further miles and data for these trucks. But I do also want to note that next month, to your point, we hope to bring to the Technology Committee several program announcements that are agnostic to zero emission truck technologies for different sizes and classes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If this is not a proven product out there, because they have to develop it, why would you say, I'm only going to pick you to go prove that product? As you know, I'm championing a new factory or manufacturer in my county who already has existing stuff. And I look at the 50,000 that they're contributing per vehicle, but the price is very high compared to what you can buy today that's already proven in 19 other countries. So it just seems like it's kind of been backwards. And again, this is hindsight. This happened 3 years ago. But in future, if we're going to invest in technology, you want people to be latest competitive, who's making it, who's not, have that worldly perspective on it, than just picking a brand and going with it.
Thank you, Supervisor. Do we have other comments or questions? Board Member Padillo-Campos?
Thank you. I'm in support of this, but I did want to ask for the workforce development piece, could we see some numbers or goals that have been set in terms of like how many people are going to be trained or how many truck drivers? Just that's helpful to me to really see the goals that we're working towards. It's really general. And maybe it's in the larger report, right? But we do have the public listening in, watching, and they may not have access to the report or may not have time to read it. So I just think it's worth us really listing the goals that we have, especially for workforce development.
Yeah, that's a good comment. So one of the efforts on this is to continue a program that was started under the Volvo Lights project many years ago at Cerritos College. So that technician program we'd like to keep that going. We don't have a number on technicians for that, but there are requirements for years. They have to maintain this for a number of educational events that have to go. And the new component of this also with these programs is that we are going to be bringing in the megawatt charging educational component into this so the technicians can learn about, how do the trucks change with these higher power chargers, and also just information regarding the higher power chargers. So that's a good comment. We'll make sure these metrics get put into the contracts.
That's really exciting. So yeah, if we can sort of highlight that, it'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you for the comment. Appreciate it. Any others? Okay, we'll go ahead and go to the general public comments then, please.
Currently have one hand raised, Harvey Etter online.
Okay. Hello, Harvey.
Howdy, am I being heard?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, good morning again. My name's Harvey Etter. I'm with the Public Solar Power Coalition. I'm talking for myself and the PSPC. I'd like to thank Campos for bringing up this thing on training. I worked in training 50 years ago as a solar education specialist for Santa Cruz County, 77, 78, first local position as we know in the country. Anyway, so it's important to do this. Zero emission is kind of a sidestep from solar. I mean, Father, Son, Mother Earth, that's traditional Americana, Native Americans. That's the ecosystem. That's how it works. All right. When Trump talks about fossil fuels, that's stored solar from a million years ago with all the dirt in between and stuff that we're breathing now and dying from in carbon climate. So we got issue control and decision making. That there were patents and copyrights that are going down in these joint ventures with the Chinese out of the ports. And I know the head of this committee was in a meeting either this month or last month, and they're talking who's going to own and control the patents and the copyright decision making, and how does that go into production, and how is that going to be controlled and done in our society, culture, in the world, and how does it interact with the political economics? You know, the price of gold's gone up 3 times since 7 years. It's gone up 100 times since it was $35 an ounce. And
All right, Chair, no additional public comments.
Okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and take it back for entertaining a motion for today.
Move the item, McCallum.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Do we have a second?
Hagman seconds.
Thank you, Supervisor. I'll just add for discussion, I do agree with Supervisor Hagman's earlier comments, as much flexibility as we can have in the future, and ensuring we have the most cutting edge technology, if we have the flexibility to do that. This scenario, we had to proceed accordingly, but anyway, just wanted to keep that front and center for staff in the future to take that input, and we'll go ahead and call for the vote, please.
Supervisor Hagman,
Hagman, aye.
Mayor Lock Dawson, absent. Mayor Pro Tem McCallum,
Yes.
Board Member Padilla-Campos,
Yes.
Supervisor Nguyen,
Yes.
and Chair Rodriguez.
Yes.
Okay, item passes 5 ayes.
Thank you. We have item 3 today, modify contracts and SEP agreements for installation and or maintenance of air filtration systems in schools and residences, and execute new and modify existing school site access agreements, and have a staff report for us today.
This is a contract extension, Mr. Chair. I'll move it. Waive the presentation if you like.
I'll second.
We'll go ahead and do that, unless there's any concerns about that I'm not hearing. Okay. We'll move and second the item.
Okay.
Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll call for, well, actually need to pause for a moment and take any public comment.
Sure. Chair, Mr. Etter has his hand raised. He did run through his 3 minutes for the agenda items, so
Yeah, we'll keep to that limit today, and any others? Seeing none, bring it back for the vote. Do we have a motion and a second? We'll take the roll call, please.
Supervisor Hagman,
Hagman, aye.
Mayor Lock Dawson, absent. Mayor Pro Tem McCallum,
Yes.
Board Member Padilla-Campos,
Yes.
Supervisor Nguyen,
Yes.
and Chair Rodriguez.
Yes.
Okay, item passes 5 ayes.
I will look forward to updates on those efforts at those schools that are highlighted in the report. And as we go to other business, just very significant investments across the board today on items 1 and 2. We'll look forward to updates as we're really investing very significantly to meet our attainment goals. So just thought it was important to, if we're not just stating the obvious there, that was a pretty important milestones moving forward. Item 4, any other business? Okay.
May I? Sorry.
Yes. Go ahead, board member.
Padilla-Campos. I just wanted to request, I know that the Enhanced Fleet Modernization Program, or I know it has replaced your right, is very successful, but I was wondering if in the next meeting we can have a report as to how we're doing. And I know I know we get reports from you, Wayne, but just a comparison to the other districts, and yeah, just to see how we're doing compared to others, and making sure that we're really utilizing all the funds and making that happen for folks. So we can have that.
Yeah, we'll take that under advisement, and we'll do the best we can to get an update as soon as possible. I want to make sure I check on the other agenda items we have for that day, but thank you for that suggestion, and we'll take that under advisement. Any other business items? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to item 5. Any other public comment?
Chair, we have one hand raised. He lowered it. Harvey Etter.
Okay.
Oh, he raised it again.
Hello, Harvey.
Howdy again. Am I being heard?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
I wanted to talk on to compost comments. They're taking away the $7,500 tax credits for solar renewables and the $4,000 for used. Okay, that's going on right now in the budget, and the politicians in this group and in the district got to put out the warning that they've got to get in there and fight on this, and the same thing that relates to health and the deaths and mortality, morbidity from air pollution and stuff like that. So that's very important. All of the tax credits for solar and whatnot are being challenged now. And that fits in with what our governor is saying now about housing and energy and his podcast with Bannon and Klein from the Times and from the right wing. Okay. So this is important stuff. We've got to jump on it now, and we've got to network. And we got to save those tax credits, and we've got to use it to leverage the new technology coming out, and who's going to own and control that, patents and copyrights, and how is it going to be developed, and where, and to get equity in those jobs and institutions, because we're losing it in our culture and society, and we've got to network and try to do what we can. Alinsky, anyway, so there's important stuff to do, and it's happening right now when they're redoing this budget. And to recycle the tax credits through this 30% that's going with China, and there's a bunch of stuff with tax credits on all the stuff that's coming from it. And he says it's an existential risk because he's pulled us out of climate, and that is the real stuff. And then this thing of drill, baby, drill, and totally ignoring how our ecosystem works. This is gross, not madness. It is not just misinformation and mistruth. It is outrageous, and it's got to be challenged. And education's the way to do it, and networking, and trying to talk to each other. Anyway. So please let's get together and do something on this instead of just watching everything go to hell. All right, thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Do we have any other comments?
No additional public comment.
Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public comment. Want to thank colleagues for your participation today. Our next meeting date will be Friday, June 20th at noon, back to our regular time. Wishing you all a great rest of the day and a great weekend. Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye.
You too have a good weekend.
Take care.